what right now a number of these contentions being put forth by Kapil Sibal. What do you think are going to be the counter arguments of the council representing the government of India?
Yeah, Megha, look, the way in which Kapil Sibal is arguing in the Supreme Court with the three-member benches, so clearly he is highlighting all the points which several of the MPs in the JPC have mentioned before the JPC chairperson and several other members before the act was being brought, the bill was being brought into the parliament for passage. So clearly all those points are being highlighted, as Kapil Sibal is also arguing that how the government officials will have their say over the work properties, and it was all because of that the government has just said that only 10 or 12 members will be from Muslim communities, while the 10 others will be from the government officials and other communities. So clearly on this point, Kapil Sibal is arguing now, and he is mentioning all the facts before the bench over here at the Supreme Court, and it will be very interesting to see that how the Supreme Court is going to come out on this Waqf Amendment case, the bill that was passed in the Parliament in the recently concluded Parliament session. So clearly, the Supreme Court judgment will pave a way that what it feels about the Waqf Amendment bill that was passed by Parliament and also agreed by President Draupadi Murmu.
Yeah. Also, you know, there's an argument that has been put forth now by Advocate Dhawan, who's also fighting and representing the petitioners. He says the basis of the constitutional attack is that Waqf is essential and integral to Islam. Religion, particularly charity, is essential and integral part of Islam. So he's raised this one more point, which he's talked about. Charity is something that is peculiar to the religion of Islam. There has to be, as per Islamic law, some percentage of an individual's earnings that have to be most definitely donated to charities, and this forms the integral part of the Waqf Act that was being followed up until the amendment took place. How is that going to impact the ruling in the case?
All the points that are being argued in the courtroom, and this is where there are several points, as I mentioned earlier, that on which a lot of deliberation and discussion need to take place, as Kapil Sibal and several other lawyers over there, they are arguing and they are mentioning all these points inside the courtroom, and also that how the money that the work gets in the form of rent or several other income generations, and how those monies are spent and for what purposes and what kind of charities those money are used. So clearly a lot of discussion, a lot of argument is going to take place until the time the Supreme Court is not satisfied with the argument. It is not going to let it go, and then only it will decide after completing the whole argument on this case. Back to you, Megha.
And then stay on with me. Advocate Fusail Khan, shed no light into this argument, which seems to be a strong one, that charity is essential and an integral part of Islam, and therefore the Waqf Amendment Act interferes in the donation that is made by millions of Muslims across the country to the Waqf Property Act.
Ma'am, there is a slight difference, as my friend has told. See, he talked about charity. So charity is basically zakat, and zakat is 2% of your annual income, which you have to give it in the form of zakat. So this is the charity part, but there is a slight difference between zakat and awqaf, that is waqf. So waqf is basically given by a kind of a richer people or rich people of our community, and that is like at one point of time when people have a lot of wealth, so they create assets such as marketplaces or some kind of you know, like one of the like there are many industries also, so they donate one part of their industry, they create it as a waqf. So whatever wealth that comes from that particular product, that goes into the benefit of the marginalized section. So yes, charity is an integral part of Islam, because there are 5 pillars of Islam. that is Hajj, Zakat, Namaz, and the other one. Charity. So, but with regard to Awqaf is not mandatory. It is not at all mandatory. But yes, those who have deep pockets, who have more than sufficient means to, outside after running their household, they have that kind of mean. So they can create waqf in the name of God, and whatever benefits are drawn, that goes into the welfare of the marginalized section. Like for example, you might have seen a lot of mazars of Sufi saints. So whatever income that is generated from there, that and whatever shops you might have seen there, or whatever business activity that has been taken in and around that area, so that property is a waqf property, and whatever income is being generated through shopkeepers, through rent, is that money is used for the marginalized section. But let me just say one thing. See, I cannot absolutely say that the government of India is wrong, because of the reason that as far as the Waqf management is concerned, Waqf boards are concerned, it is in a deplorable shape in any state, in any city.
I'm going to come back to you on this. I have to put out information as it is happening in real